Hello, you are welcome to another edition of the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. We're broadcasting live from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano here in Accra. I am Charles Ozukumi. Coming up. Butchers put lives of residents of Tamahevi industrial area at risk as wetlands are destroyed.
Not sit down and be behaving like mushrooms, ostriches, and see that a developer for the past 2 months is undertaking a development which is going to be a danger to Ghanaians. Recently,
Government deploys additional 636 blue water guards to fight illegal mining, bringing the total to 1,700.
You are going to the central region. You are going to the eastern region, working closely with the Ghana Navy, the NEMOS and the police service to give them help. We will stand and fight.
4 prisoners discharged from the Kumasi Central Prison following intervention of the Justice for All program.
For me, even one person getting the freedom today is an achievement, and because justice is for all. It is not in the right direction for anyone to be deprived of his liberty when the systems are not working as expected.
And later, traffic situation and inadequate transport system worsens the plight of residents of Accra as Christmas approaches.
And any 3 days, Kia na me fuko fie, and in the market, Kia. Because original chrome never be 5 far. I say, and share any bus stop, Sabat. I die in the bus stop. Me say about 5 over who a dome go hasea. And from her to Medina, 8 cities. A dream you 10 cities.
Grateful to you for your time here on the Channel 1 Newsroom. Here now are the details of the bulletin. And judges of the High Court and Appeals Court who are presiding over cases brought under the Justice for All program have expressed worry over how some inmates are left to languish in prison despite being discharged by the courts. This observation came up during the hearing of cases under the Justice for All program at the Kumasi Central Prisons, where a total of 41 cases were dealt with and the ruling made. Channel 1 News' Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani has more.
Inmates at the Kumasi Central Prisons were still serving their sentence after they were discharged by the courts. This similar observation was made during previous hearing under the Justice for All program, which aims to provide justice for every citizen and also help decongest the country's prisons. A justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Efia-Sewa Asare-Botwe, who supervised the hearing at the Kumasi Central Prison, admonished police investigators and the CID to ensure due diligence in their work.
Last year, we had one accused person who had been discharged and the person was still in custody. Today, we had 2. We should acknowledge that when we come here and a court grants an order, here in this court, it is an order of a court. It must be carried out forthwith. So today we have 2. What we have done today is to make sure that every warrant is signed before we have left here, and that is accounting for how late we are leaving. All the warrants have been signed. Some of the warrants had expired. In one case, the warrant had expired for almost 2 years, and the person had not been sent to court at all. Please, we will plead with our investigators and even our judges that when you have had a case before you and the accused person is not being brought, please take steps to make sure that the accused person is brought before the court.
Out of 41 pre-trial cases filed, 15 bail applications were granted, 4 prisoners discharged. 1 was also referred to the psychiatry for treatment, and 3 of the cases were struck out.
For today, we had 41 applications here. Number of the bail applications granted was 15. The number of trial prisoners discharged, we dealt with them and discharged them 4. 1 person was referred to psychiatric treatment. 3 of the cases were struck out. 9 of them were convicted and imprisoned today, and 12 of the applications were refused. We have today witnessed the impact of the Justice for All program, and it has brought many vulnerable inmates who, as a result of lack of legal representation or other factors, could have spent years in prison without trial.
A presiding High Court judge who sat on some of the cases at the Kumasi Central Prison maintains that citizens must not be deprived of justice due to lapses in the system.
For me, even one person getting the freedom today is an achievement, and because justice is for all. It is not in the right direction for anyone to be deprived of his liberty when the systems are not working as expected.
Officials at the Kumasi Central Prison lauded the initiative and described it as a big relief for prison officers.
And then secondly, for us, it brings us about 3 or 4 benefits. First of all, if we need to take this image to court, it involves transportation challenges and all the security risks associated with it. So for the judges to come here, we are relieved of that. And then 2, the inmates also feel more dignified. As we watch the program today, they were not put in any restraints. They walked to court freely, but if we were to transport them from here to another place, we certainly have to put some restraints on them. So it makes them feel more dignified.
The Justice for All program has since in 2007 dealt with 4,843 inmates and discharged 862 of them. Pause Foundation, an NGO, has for the past years facilitated the program. A similar hearing was done at the Obuasi prisons.
Officials of the Kumasi Central Prison have lauded the Justice for All program and say they look forward to similar engagement in the future, which they say it will contribute to the reduction of the congestion at this facility. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Kumasi, Ashanti region.
Now, away from the Ashanti region, a health crisis is awaiting residents of Tema Heavy Industrial Area within the Tema metropolis following the encroachment of a wetland that serves as a major sewer system for the area by unidentified developers. City News investigations have uncovered ongoing construction activity on the site, which lies close to the Tema Loop Oil Company. There is more in this report.
The wetland has for time immemorial served as a major aspect of flood mitigation efforts in the Tema enclave. With trees, grasses and shrubs, the site offered a serene environment for ecological exploration. However, that is no longer the case.
This enclave adjacent to the Tema Loop Oil is one of the wetlands, but unfortunately, it is no longer serving its purpose. Why? There is a number of construction works ongoing over here, and that has blocked the sewer trunks that serves, the Tema metropolitan area, both residential and industry-wise.
Concrete walls have been erected directly over waste pipelines that convey sewage into the Chemu Lagoon, effectively obstructing the natural flow of waste. This development has significantly worsened sewage management in surrounding communities, raising fears of a potential public health emergency as the disruptions have led to sewage overflows. Further findings reveal that a designated water retention area has been filled with concrete by the alleged encroacher, posing a serious flooding risk, especially during the rainy season. The seeming unauthorized construction, believed to be an industrial facility, has been ongoing for the past 2 months with no visible intervention from the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, according to sources. Preliminary assessments suggest multiple breaches of the country's land use and environmental laws. These include provisions under the Land Use and Spatial Planning Act 2016, Act 925, specifically Section 117 on the prohibition of development without a permit, Section 121 on unauthorized development within community right-of-way spaces, and Section 120 on the abatement of nuisance. Possible violations of the Ghana Hydrological Authority Act 2022, that's Act 1085, have also been cited. Additionally, the development appears to contravene the Tema Metropolitan Assembly TMA Bylaws 2025, particularly Section 17, which prescribes sanctions for constructing buildings over sewage infrastructure. Mineral Roads and Building Consultant Engineer Abdullahi Mahama has been reacting to the issue.
We want to call the shots. This one, immediately, the Minister for Local Government, the regional minister, has to call on the Metropolitan Assembly head to a meeting ASAP and ask them how would they interpret what I just read in the LI 2465 2022, because we cannot sit down and be behaving like mushrooms, ostriches, and see that a developer for the past 2 months is undertaking a development which is going to be a danger to Ghanaians. Recently, I made mention of what is happening at Abukobi. The boundary between La Quantanay and Abukobi has also seen a similar, river being covered by unknown developers. How many times must we sit down and allow unknown, so to speak, to be developing that, which is not like it happened overnight? If we do not sit up and call the shots, there are a lot of big people within 25-26. It cannot be that an ordinary person who doesn't have any clout, any political clout, will be able to go in and cause this. See, what
Tema, a well-structured community, but many fear it is fast becoming a pale shadow of itself due to activities as such, building on wetlands, and for concerned citizens, putting in place mechanisms and measures to avert this worrying trend should be non-negotiable. Reporting for Channel 1 News, Fauzu Masaudu.
Now, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has strengthened the Blue Water Guards initiative with the deployment of 636 additional personnel, bringing the total number of guards nationwide to 2,700. Speaking at the passing out ceremony of the third batch of Blue Water Guards at the Ghana Navy Forward Operating Base in the Western Region, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, said the deployment across 7 regions underscores the ministry's commitment to safeguarding Ghana's water resources. Channel 1 News' Western Bureau Chief Akwasi Ajuanim reports.
In line with the government Blue Water Economy Initiative, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources introduced the Blue Water Guards program in April with an initial deployment of 453 personnel to protect rivers polluted by illegal mining activities in the Western region. Addressing the passing out ceremony of the third batch of 636 Blue Water Guards at the Ghana Navy Forward Operating Base at Ezlebo in the Western region, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua, said that within 6 months of the first deployment, the ministry has rolled out more than 1,700 guards across 7 regions of the country.
I state that so far we have trained roughly 1,700 Blue Water Guards across almost 7 regions, and we believe we are on the right course. And we are very proud of those pioneers who started the work. They are in their way of the galamseyers, and they are making their lives so uncomfortable. We know that you are going to the Ashanti region, you are going to the Central region, you are going to the Eastern region, working closely with the Ghana Navy, the NEMOS and the police service to give them hell. We will stand and fight until we turn our waters blue. Blue Water Guards! Blue Water Guards!
The Deputy Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Emmanuel Kwamena Ayima, in a speech read on his behalf, described the graduation of the additional Blue Water Guards as a major milestone in the fight against illegal mining. He assured that the Commission, as a regulator of the mining sector, will continue to ensure people operate within the law to promote environmental sustainability.
The passing out of the third batch of the blue water gas. This marks a remarkable achievement in your journey to safeguard Ghana's marine resources and contribute to the nation's development. As we honor these dedicated individuals, we recognize their commitment to the protecting of our water bodies and ensuring sustainable exploitation of our mineral resources. Your training has equipped you with the skills and knowledge to combat illegal mining and promote responsible mining practices. The Minerals Commission, as a regulator in the mining sector, will do everything within the law to ensure sustainable environment. We are committed to providing regulatory support, technical guidance, and oversight to ensure the Blue Water Gas Program succeeds.
We're now joined on the phone lines by Media Relations Officer for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Pa Kwesi Shandov, to help us understand this very initiative and some of the other initiatives currently ongoing within the ministry. Good evening to you, Shandov. I'm grateful to you for your time here on the Channel 1 Newsroom. So this would be the third batch of Blue Water Guards. How effective were the first two, to the extent that you decided to deploy another 636?
Well, so good evening to you and to the rest of our listeners who are connected. The successes of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, 9 months, which we consistently hail and praise, is actually being instrumented by the Blue Water Guards, in the sense that it is the Blue Water Guards who provide the ground troop intelligence and the awareness to 9 months for them to proceed to act. And so to answer the question on the effectiveness of the Blue Water Guards that we have commissioned so far, anytime you see a 9 months operation, you should know that in the background it has been in one way or the other inspired by 9 months. And so that effectively is a statement of their effectiveness, reason for which the sector minister has commissioned the third batch today. Hopefully, we want to reach a total of 2,000 Blue Water Guards as we progress in our fight against illegal mining.
All right. Now, we know that the ministry recently laid before Parliament a new mining airline, which revoked the one that gave the powers to the president to allow mining in forest reserves. And we're told by some people within the space that your minister is avoiding civil society groups who have called for consultations to engage the minister on how to build a fiscal framework for, mining leases and royalties. We know that now the royalties for lithium has now been moved from 5 to 7%. Some say that they wanted it to be 10%. The minister is not availing himself for these conversations.
This is rather funny, forgive me. I mean, I do not know which quarters this is coming from. Because, Charles, as I speak to you, just this Monday, the Minister, Honorable Emmanuel Lamakofibwa, had a crunch interaction with civil society organizations, if I should disclose the venue, at Alisa Hotel, where they all poured out their views, they expressed their sentiments, and they articulated their varied perspectives, not only on the lithium agreement, but indeed with the general enterprise of mining and mineral exploration in Ghana. And so it is rather curious that anybody will think that the minister is not being open to stakeholder conversations. That is his focus, that is his priority, and it is indeed in the light of these stakeholder conversations that we have made the progresses that we have chalked so far. If I have to talk about the royalties agreement, for example, as I speak to you, yes, now government is going to operationalize a sliding scale mechanism. That is the new framework that is going to be incorporated in the law. And so what the sliding scale mechanism will simply do is that it will set the royalties rate between 5 to 12%, which means that at any time when the global prices of lithium escalate, Ghana will benefit the more. However, when the prices are down, the mine will continue to be operationalized so that jobs are not lost and operations are not truncated. All of this have been significantly influenced by the minister's engagement with stakeholders and particularly civil society organizations. Look, on Monday, we met about 18 of them in a roundtable discussion where the minister was open. He took the backlash, the waves, the criticisms, the feedback, and of course the constructive input. And so it is not true that the minister is not available. He's greatly available and is always open for better consultations and engagement.
Now, so what went into the setting the royalties for lithium at 7% when some people in the civil society space have said we could have set it at 10%? What went into the 7%?
It is not true. It is not true that the royalties rate for lithium is now 7%. That fact is rather inaccurate. What we have now is not a fixated regime of royalties allocation. We have employed the sliding scale mechanism, which shifts from 5% to 12%. So it is a range between 5% to 12%, which means that at any given time, Ghana would benefit within that range, depending on the global prices of lithium. Now, if the prices escalate, if the prices go high, of course, we can get the full ceiling, which is the 12%. Even if it is low, there is a minimum threshold of 5%, which would, of course, keep the investor still active, able to operationalize, able to keep employees, and that we think is what is in the best interest of all Ghanaians, indeed, having come from stakeholder conversations with civil society organizations as well.
Well, we're told that at current global prices, we should be getting 10% for lithium. But some of the communities where this lithium will be mined have raised concerns about employment and all of these things. How is the ministry ensuring that these communities benefit from the imminent mining of lithium within their catchment area?
Just this Tuesday, together with my colleague Mahmoud Kabori at the Lands Ministry, we represented the minister at the Ewoya community, in the Ewoya community and other adjoining areas, where we interacted with the teams and people of the area. We harvested their concerns, we gathered their input, and then we put together their sentiments, all in the bid to develop a bill that does not only benefit the entirety of the Ghanaian population, but particularly the locals of Ewoya, Krampa, and all adjoining communities. The matter that you raise is indeed one of the issues that they express, how that more often than not, when minerals are mined in catchment areas, the locals do not benefit. We listened to all of that, and all of those concerns have been incorporated in the new agreement. And so moving forward, the people of Ewoya certainly are going to benefit, and of course, they would be the prime beneficiaries, if I have to put it that way. And so they are in our plans, and local content remains a priority as well.
Okay, and finally, before you go, on the refinery front, refining lithium, what is the strategy now from the ministry? What's the strategy?
Well, so in our interaction with civil society organizations, there were very valid call for a nationalization of the refinery. That is to say that Ghana should own its resources and Ghana should mine its resources. It's a call that the minister greatly embraced. And so it will be part of the conversations going on. Indeed, as and when we have the capacity to, or when upon introspection we believe that, look, this is something we can handle exclusively on our own, we will do that. In the meantime, we'll continue to partner with those who can and then agree on terms that will benefit the entirety of the country.
To you, Parkwesi Shandov. He is the Media Relations Officer for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Still ahead. Traffic situation and inadequate transport system worsens the plight of residents of Accra as Christmas approaches. We have details in a bit. Please stay with us.
Unbelievable. Said you have a city and the Amama Kai or baby and home fair. Wow! Hello, Miss World.
Hello, Ajimara.
Now I hear now what to say.
Me who yo, Madam Fubiho, our classy. Menene ye nioma do so.
Me nyana nka me wogana. Nanso me talk, me na wiase a na mabe pie electronic shop bi a kire say. Said you have a city no. na ohunfo nyini ene shawo mani so say meba better gold diamond jewels necklaces pearls blankets everything I'm a diamond
shimmer of international waters. Hey,
wow obwa oni abochire bia
obwa wani breno
yenko na me ko tiro
it's a brocha nani
Sister, Electroland Ghana Limited showroom for Frokrani, Kasi Kumase, Omo, when you say Samsung, TCL, Media, and a NASCO product. I don't know when you're true. Omo, I'm able to say Kaswa, Asamai, Makasim, Tamale, Sprinters, Coca-Cola.
It's me and Kabati Chajumakutu, the Aswami say bound.
Me private jet no kwa be see me and me ba. Let bygone be bygone. Hey, and near man mo pese mo yi no ha bia. Munyi
yo yebeyi.
Electroland Ghana, home of electronics and affordable luxury.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the great. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Pearl. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya bois, faha.
Remember when I turned 50, I did this show, it was called KSM 50. That was KSM 50. Now, the favorite show I did since KSM 50 was called The Secret of GH Girls.
Very soon you'll be in a car and you are going, yes, no for.
I'm 69. But even at 69, I've come up with a new brilliant show. Your friend, Old Age is a Rascal. And it's coming to you live from the Cactus Creek. And it's happening on the 25th, 26th, and the 27th of December. Old Age is a Rascal. You can't miss this. It starts with a lunch buffet. Starts at 1, and then about 4:30, we take a break and you come and see the special. Old Age is a Rascal. And the number to call is 055 039 5007.
Welcome back. This is the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Now, in more stories, for many residents in Accra, their journey home this Christmas has become an exhausting struggle as congestion, limited transport options and security concerns continue to frustrate commuters in the capital. They are questioning the effectiveness of several interventions by the government to curb these issues. Ajubi Yafiakintin captures these concerns in the following report.
The Christmas season is here, bringing cheer and festivity. However, for many residents in the capital, Accra, convenient transportation remains a major challenge. Heavy traffic, congested public spaces, and a shortage of commercial vehicles have made movement across the city difficult, especially during peak hours. In response, the government, through the Ministry of Transport, introduced additional buses to ease commuter pressure and deployed task forces to clamp down on excessive transport fares. Despite these interventions, some commuters say the measures have yielded little impact.
Transportation is there. Me kase me kan ade insan. And any 3 days, Kia na me fuko ofie. And in the market, Kia. Because original krom na ebo be 5 hours. Aha say, share nya bus stops but aja ye dare ne bus stop. Me say ebo 5 wo be hu edom egu ha say ya. And from her to Medina 8 cedis. Edu anwumra 10 cedis. 10 cedis no moje.
Omo ka say omo the tax force bi aba kroma omo checking for
enye ejuma. Sa tax force na enye ejuma.
It has come to notice that when you want to go to long distance, they rather prefer you taking short distances, so they take more money. So if you are supposed to go from here to the tree there, they'll either make a short distance from junction to junction. So if it is 3 cities, they'll be taking the three cities but if when you start the journey, you are supposed to pay 5 cities. But since they want to take more money, so they make it 3 cities, and then they end up getting more than the 5 city you pay. Sometimes when we are in the car, the market women, they do argue about it, that they will report to station masters, but no change.
Mr. La Paz, and a power bank patch of a city, but you drain your mra, almost 10 city. Almost any 10 city, no, below do circle. Who do circle no see, no, as I load do, I lodge you. Or Fralaju, no, Abeka, or Frabeca, no, La Paz. That is a back for which I fair for. And I don't need a problem, my own case. But I buy it full so, as somebody almost if you were a moboka and you know the shame. La Paz for the Engiabi, remember La Paz, yes, station the Engiabi. There be a driver for about 2:30. The about track and who say Ukuta 20 Ghana, not 30 Ghana. Now, what you could see. The who say a little so the abadi and the more on him La Paz.
You do Christmas in and I say, fell no as say cry. Says I'm if you say fabric, me do and 15 cities. It's a minimum like minimum says I buy in Nimsa, the way air cost was a day. I say where the buying Shanoya who be. Yes, I buy Shanoya who be pa. Send your or better a tax force for no. Abacrum, or better the bus stops. Now, I'm a son, your way said to a chunky and budget. Where they are slab by you go to Jugu from.
Some residents who spoke to Channel One News also expressed serious concerns about security within the Central Business District. They say while shoppers throng the area ahead of the Christmas festivities, pickpockets and petty thieves are taking advantage of the crowd to steal from unsuspecting buyers.
Today, I was thinking it would be less congested, but then looking at the ins and outs of the market is very chaotic. With how the congestion is, people are also struggling to find their way, and some are actually using that opportunity to pickpocket others. And it's very appalling when you are focused on something and you are trying to have a life, then someone is actually just finding ways to steal from you and all that.
You see young people around. Some of them will be doing as if they are also working, but they are not working. They are just here to steal people. They will come and push you, and you'll be doing as if you want to fall down. One will come and remove your phone. They'll come and hit your car. Other one will come and hit your car at the other side. Then before you realize you want to watch the other side, they'll poop into your car and pick up your phone.
Reacting to the concerns, the Public Relations Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Gilbert Nee Anchor, said the task force set up to curb unfair transport fares has commenced operations in the CBD. He assured that its activities will be extended to other affected areas in the coming days.
Assembly intends to extend the operations to other areas within the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. If you look at the Assembly's operation of commercial vehicle bylaw, for instance, it states that drivers were supposed to charge appropriate or approved fees by the Assembly. So the exercise will be extended. Last Wednesday, for instance, we were around the Cocoa Board, the Farisco Traffic Light Enclave. There are other areas we picked intelligence for where some of these drivers are still charging. He
added that the Assembly is collaborating with the Greater Accra Regional Police Command to enhance 24-hour security surveillance across the capital.
The Mayor, Honorable Michael Pakwalute, has activated our 24-hour security service within the metropolis. So currently, as I speak to you now, we have young men who have been positioned within the Central Business District and other parts of the metropolis. They are watching out for some of these crimes. They are watching out for people who may engage themselves in even picking people, just as you said, with respect to these pickpockets and all that. So quickly, they send signals to our office where we have our task force, and then we quickly move it to ensure that the place is quite calm with respect to security.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I am Ejubi Wiafe Akintin.
Now to health. The 14-bed Diaso Health Center, the largest and most advanced health facility in the Upper Dintra West District of the Central Region, is struggling to deliver quality health care due to a severe lack of essential equipment and inadequate staffing. Health authorities say the situation is compounded by the refusal of health workers to accept postings to the area. Our Central Regional correspondent, Akwesiado, has more.
In many cases, women in labor with complications and critically ill patients requiring advanced care are referred to hospitals in Awaso, Bibiani, and Sefiwi, also in the Western North region. The only alternative within the Central region is the municipal hospital in Dunkornofin. However, the poor road network often places patients in life-threatening situations during transfers. Residents say several lives have been lost as a result. The district's most advanced facility, the 14-bed Diaso Health Center, has a 5-bed general ward and a 9-bed maternity ward. According to the nurse manager, Sabaina Nyakon, the facility lacks critical equipment and sufficient staff to manage cases effectively.
Midwifery department, lack of staff, because this place is far and the accommodation issue is very expensive. The beds are old. Even the pregnant women don't have even the seats to sit on. And our place is not spacious enough for them to. So we need so many things, even the expansion of the old facility.
The district health directorate says health facilities across the district, including those in hard-to-reach communities such as Ntomu, Asuade, Subin, Akwaboso, and Fobinso, are poorly resourced and unable to efficiently manage even primary health care cases.
So a facility that is supposed to be managed by a number of staff, the numbers will reduce because a few of them will be able to get accommodation. And in our little way, those that we are able to provide, they will be the ones that will provide the services. So we realize there's a gap.
Beyond logistical challenges, health workers are reportedly reluctant to accept postings to the district due to the difficult terrain and the high cost of accommodation, largely driven by competition from mining activities.
In the first place, they don't even accept posting because of the terrain, how deprived the area is. And if they accept posting and they come to the area and they scan around because of the accommodation, they don't come back. They go back and these politicians are able to influence, and these people are posted to places where they may not even be needed.
Opinion leaders in the area are therefore calling for urgent government intervention to address the challenges confronting the health sector.
I think it should be immediate. It should be something immediate because currently speaking, in the whole district, it's only the Diaso Health Center, which is the biggest as of now.
District Chief Executive Isaac Nsia told Channel 1 News that the Assembly is constructing new health facilities with attached accommodation to attract personnel. He added that plans are also underway to expand infrastructure at the Diaso Health Center. He has, however, appealed to the Ministry of Health to upgrade the facility to either a polyclinic or district hospital status.
What we have is health centers and then check compound. So we've written to the ministry for that support, that they should come and even upgrade our health facility for us. Any health facility that we construct, it has to come with accommodation for nurses, so that it will address some of the accommodation challenges.
Meanwhile, the Central Regional Minister, Edua Mwawachiriako Penyin, has cautioned politicians against interfering in health worker postings, stressing the need for equitable distribution of personnel across the country.
The political interference we need to stop.
Because when you are drawing somebody to, because you have a to drawing somebody will draw somebody from your player too. But so if the politicians stop, if we stop the truncating, the movement, definitely they will stay.
Despite the lack of adequate resources, stakeholders are taking steps to reduce maternal mortality rate here in the Upper Denchira West District. For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwesi Yado, Diaso, Central Region.
Still on health, traditional leaders in the community of Intribohun have cautioned politicians against making empty promises, citing years of frustration over an abandoned chips compound that has been left exposed to the elements. They say the stored facility has become a symbol of unfulfilled commitments and are urging authorities to move beyond assurances by completing the project to meet the healthcare needs of the residents. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Bright Eboa has more.
The CHIPS compound at Intribohun was initiated in 2020 to improve access to healthcare, but stalled just 3 months after construction began. Despite an initial 6 months completion timeline, the project has since been abandoned at the lintel level. When completed, the facility is expected to serve Intribohun and surrounding communities including Wansamiri, Sasa, Bohun, Heman, and Achena, whose residents currently travel long distances to access basic healthcare services. Funded by the Middle Belt Development Authority, the renewed attention from authorities has raised hopes among residents for improved healthcare delivery in the area.
Ya no mo ija egu ho tinamencha adum aban fufure ba ye de ye ko ma me na aso no MC na aso no oje ye fe so ehye ye bo aboshan so ohye ye no ampa ho dakrokura tiani agise ne nyankopon aya adum a onu ankasa ene domaba a mo bebia no amaye we kura na ni gisem wo mu kura ne se the Dadana anye ye papa to buy or say Kufre be bullying na gu. Yes, I yin na fufro. It's a nigisamanti bon mine.
Esi wache. Dana mukra na week. So bubunu so muskasi fufra be ma hodne abbe mama asan stoye gina said the tie na edi ka so no. Umum di ka tu na mom say
During a visit to the community, the district chief executive for Afija Kwabre South, Patricia Pearl Ankra, met with traditional leaders where the Jasehene cautioned politicians against making promises that are not fulfilled.
Politics will be another. Obe can de ni aboajiso. Ebe wi akire na akoye dimbo. Nti ye bom pa say de onu abeka no. Osoro hemu ano. On ka na dwene say asem abeka no. Enko say bia hwe bi wada bia no beboa ye na man munyam pra. Afiri mu aba ya bo ni dina ka asem wa hasa bia maami baaye na bia saade inside aka no so meka nya ho sense bia be kan agya ho no so be kan agya ho de answer hu fasodie bia e dey enya free cancel ho.
The district chief executive also cut the sword for the construction of several development projects across 5 communities in the Afija Kwabre South district. The projects, which include a CHIPS compound, toilet facilities, and classroom blocks, are intended to enhance healthcare, sanitation, and education in deprived communities within the district.
We cut short for 6 projects, but we are doing 36 projects, 30 mechanized boreholes, and 6 different physical projects. These projects are projects that are the president's flagship programs, which he needs that every community gets it. We are hoping that in the next 6 months, we will come back and commission the projects. These projects are common fund projects, and they are available funds for them. So if I say 6 months, I mean 6 months, we're going to do this project.
With renewed attention from authorities and fresh commitments to development across the district, local authorities say this time round, they are watching closely to ensure that the promises translate into action. For Channel 1 News, I am Bright Yeboah.
This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. Still ahead. Civil society organizations urged to closely monitor the yet-to-be-established Boko Revitalization Fund. The news will be back in a bit. Please don't go away.
Rooted in heritage. Shaped by ambition. Defined by style. Inspired by soul. This is Afro Quality, the first multi-country concept store for African brands. Now in Nairobi, Kigali, and Accra.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the greats. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa faha.
Hello, my dear friend. I am happy to invite you to our 31st December night Jesus Encounter service. It's going to be a night filled with the presence of God, the power of God, and the grace of God. Jesus said that without me you can do nothing, but with God all things are possible. It means that when we do without God, we will be frustrated. But on the 31st, if we encounter the presence of God and we allow God to lead us into the new year, we will move into great possibilities, mighty and wonderful things in the new year 2026. I am inviting you, especially together with your family and your friends. The place to be is the Camp Elim Main Auditorium, North Legon. The presence of God is going to be strong and powerful. Come with your family. Let us move over into 2026. 054 054 7000. See you here.
Thank you for staying with the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. In some other news, panelists on Channel 1 TV's Weekend News and Current Affairs program, The Big Issue, are urging civil society organizations to monitor a government fund to be set up for the revitalization and development of Bokum. They also want government to proceed cautiously in implementing the recommendations of the Otumfuo Mediation Report. There is more in this report.
The government's plan to establish a 1 billion Ghana cedis fund aims to support the implementation of recommendations from the Otumfuo-led mediation report. However, security consultant Richard Kumado is urging CSOs to monitor the fund to be set up for the revitalization exercise.
I'm thinking that once the implementations begin to fester, we should ask Imani Ghana, Frank Kujo and his team to do a financial risk assessment to see whether the monies are being used for the purposes for which they have been outlined. And the specific projects earmarked for the monies have been followed.
Meanwhile, the West African Network for Peace Building wants government to adopt a careful approach in implementing the mediation recommendations and provide platforms for affected groups to seek clarification where necessary.
The government, as I said, should hasten, but to tarry, they should not do things just because probably they have the power. Because at the end, the key thing is how do we contain the situation? How do we make sure that our own interventions do not do harm to the good process? Because all the parties, acknowledge that there is a need for peace.
On the fight against illegal mining, also known as Galamsey, coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizen, Awula Sewa, welcomed Parliament's repeal of LI 2462, which allowed the president to permit mining in forest reserves. She, however, described the move as long overdue. According to her, despite the repeal, illegal mining continues to pose a serious threat.
It's an existential threat. We're on the verge of an ecological catastrophe. Why has it taken so long to repeal LI 2462 when in opposition? It was being touted that we'll repeal LI 2462. We will do this, we'll do that. We're able to promptly repeal the EI levy. We're able to repeal the betting tax, which did not cause an existential threat. So we are grateful, but what we are saying is that all LI 2462 is doing is protecting our forest reserves. What needs to happen is that we need to, first of all, strengthen the Forestry Commission so that the guards are well equipped so that they can protect our forest reserves. And let's be clear, this is not the time to be doing NPP, NDC. Both have failed Ghanaians.
While the New Patriotic Party, NPP, maintains that the current administration has been slow in tackling illegal mining despite campaign promises, the United Party disagrees. The party argues that the government has demonstrated the political will to fight Galamsey and blamed the previous NPP administration for passing LI 2462 during its tenure.
And if you look at that conference that President Mahama had with the civil society, I mean, read his body language. It looks as if Galamsey never bothered him. Because over there he painted a picture that actually depresses me. The picture he painted it's like Ghana doesn't have the capacity to deal with it. Because he said that, look, there's no need to declare a state of emergency. Because, what was the reason why he said there was no need to declare a state of emergency? One of them was that there is a team that told him state of emergency were not needed. Another reason is that there are more tools for him to use before state of emergency. If there are more tools for you to use, wouldn't you have used it from day one if it is an existential threat?
The bottom line is that it has been repealed, whether we forced him, whether he was cajoled, whether CSOs had to cry, whether it has been repealed. Now, if I have one regret, I have one disappointment about all of us as Ghanaians, then it was in our inability or our refusal to impeach Nanado when he committed this heinous crime in how he deliberately fooled Galamsey.
Meanwhile, on the government's resubmission of the lithium mining agreements with Barari DV Ghana Limited to Parliament, Franklin Kujo of Imani Africa raised concerns about the proposed 7% royalty rate. He called for a review of the agreement to ensure Ghana derives maximum benefits from its lithium resources.
It's setting a higher rate of about 12%, but it's starting off at a rate of 7%, given the terms of things. And we think that, well, we agree that, look, we thank him for accepting the fact that it is better to determine the royalty, more like a seesaw process, which is essentially the sliding scale method. So we agree with him that the 12% maximum is fine. We agree with that. But we still think that the minister should, I would think he hasn't served us properly by suggesting that he want to start on the basis of a 7%.
The company engaged government about the economic viability of the country, of the project. Indeed, many other countries were actually reneging in investing in that sector because of the pricing window. So Ghana, this government had an option, either to put on hold the agreement or get it to function, even in the midst of the volatility in terms of pricing. And so that's the reason why we decided to look at where we could cut the overhead costs to still make it economically viable for the investor to operate and be able to throw out jobs.
Now, women in the northern parts of the country, most of whom engage in subsistence farming, continue to grapple with severe economic hardships. To help these women explore alternative livelihood opportunities within the agricultural sector, AgriSolve, in partnership with the World University Service of Canada, has launched a skills training program for young women in agriculture at Yendi in the northern region. Channel 1 News' northern regional correspondent Mohammed Aminu Alabira has more.
The Agricultural Business Skills for Real-World Work and Resilient Communities program aims to equip young women with agricultural skills, employment opportunities, and agribusiness enterprise options that can sustain them throughout the year. Through this partnership with the World University Service of Canada, AgriSolve is providing skills training focused on value addition to farm produce, enabling beneficiaries to operate viable agribusinesses all year round.
Young people who are born in production are able to some buyers, then aggregators to purchase these commodities from them. During the program, we touched on value addition. We do not want these brown people to only rely on production. We want them to also add value.
The executive director of AgriSolve, Elom Go, highlighted the project's operational areas, key activities, and the expected impact on beneficiaries.
Co-creating that's AgriSolve in initial percent is to enable young people to have the needed skills, actually practical skills meant for farming communities, and that will enable them access to work.
Some beneficiaries who spoke to Channel One News expressed excitement about the initiative, saying they are already beginning to see positive outcomes.
As a process, I learned how to make the shape. And that the shape that I was not moving as when we put the nuggets and high shape and share notes. I was then made that way without us the pictures of away from the food course.
The project is being implemented across the northern, northeast, and upper regions, with thousands of young women benefiting from the initiative.
Well, that'll be all for this edition of the Channel One Newsroom here on Channel One TV. Do visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel One TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel One TV. Download the Channel One TV app on the Google Play Store. Thank you very much. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for watching.
In a season where the world pauses, music reminds us what truly matters.
Bread of life, sender from glory. Many things you were on earth, a holy king, the carpenter. You are the living word you're saying.
This Christmas, experience music that heals, voices that unite, songs that awaken joy. Your Christmas unforgettable with the Channel One Christmas Choir as they serenade you with lovely tunes that fill your home with joy.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Something
Christmas. Feel the joy, hear the love, celebrate the season.